Hey Nesters, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to Goodwill, so come along and let's see what we can find. I thought this vase up here was absolutely gorgeous. It is a more modern piece though, and I was trying to just find things to sell on Etsy, and it has to be vintage, so unfortunately I did leave it behind, but I kind of wish I got it for the booth now. So I have a question for you guys that are Christians out there. This picture here is absolutely gorgeous, right? It is a picture of God kissing Jesus is what, it looks to me. But I know the verse Exodus 20, right? And it talks about not having any graven images and that you should not make anything in likeness in heaven above or in the earth beneath it. So I always feel kind of convicted about ever picking up anything like that, even though when I see it, that's what it makes me think of, and I do think it's a nice image. But I feel like as a Christian it seems like we're not supposed to do that. What do you guys think on that? I'd be interested to know your take on Exodus 20. This little girl and boy picture I thought was really cute as well, but I feel like someone would want pictures of their own kids, so I'm not sure if that would actually resell or not. I always think these little kid figurines, or just people figurines in general, are really adorable, but I feel like the animal figurines are the ones that actually resell, and those just kind of always sit on the shelf in my booth if I get them. I haven't tried them online yet, so maybe there's a market for them, but I typically don't sell those. I actually have a really hard time coming across vintage blue glassware, so I was excited when I saw this, and I actually already have one of these in my collection, but this is just a tip for how to check for glass, because a lot of the colored glass is hard to see the little nicks and chips in it, right? So you just want to carefully run your finger across the edges and on the bottoms and stuff. It just is really helpful to be able to, you can feel the little nick in it as opposed to trying to look for it. Let me know if you can ever pick up a bell without ringing it. I never can seem to put it back down before I do that. There were several pieces laying around on various shelves of this set here with the tinted blue, and it had this leaf pattern around the edge of it. I tried to do a quick search when I was in the store on my phone and I couldn't find anything on it, so I didn't take them, but I really thought they were kind of interesting and they appear to be maybe on the older side. I was so happy when I saw these Arctica gold glasses here. These were put out by Libby, because about a month ago I actually picked up a pitcher that goes with this. So they had two of them. I was hoping there was more in the back there, but they had two of them, and I was definitely happy to get those. Do you guys remember when I picked up a set of these in the color green somewhat recently? And a lot of you told me that they had them at the Dollar Tree. I did look these up and there are some from other companies, so mine very well could have been from the Dollar Tree. But I actually picked up a set of 3 and we use them for taco night. We put our sour cream, guacamole, and salsa in them. So it's a, fun set, and there's an idea for you guys if you ever come across them. So I have a question for you guys. Is this not a mushroom? I've seen these before and this looks like a mushroom, but someone painted it to look like a hat. It has to be a mushroom, right? How gorgeous is this picture here? Absolutely stunning. There is a chip in the spout there and they were asking $5 for it. I thought this cookie jar here from Japan was really gorgeous. Unfortunately, it did have a few chips on it, nothing major, but just where you can see the 3D-ness of the fruit or vegetables there that pop out. Just where the leaves are, there's just a couple little nicks, and then on the top there. But still, stuff, not really that major, and I feel like someone would still want this. So this plate here is a Christian Home pie plate, tart plate, and my thrift stores are plagued with these things. I picked one up when I first opened my antique booth, never sold it, couldn't figure out why. It's because they are so oversaturated in the market. If you look online, the prices are everywhere on these things, but there's just so many. And I think I saw the last one that was sold about $10 on eBay. So yeah, I don't tend to pick those up anymore. This here reminded me of brown dipped pottery by Hall, but I didn't see any markings on it. All the Hall I've ever come across usually has it engraved on the bottom there somewhere, so I wasn't quite sure that that was actually Hall or not. Now this is probably the most interesting snack dish I've ever come across. Someone had put some pressed flowers in it somehow. I was trying to figure out how they did this. It looks like they did something on the bottom and had like melted it into the glass. I don't know. That was pretty interesting though. Oh look, there's another one! Seriously guys, if you like these, go to your thrift stores. I guarantee you'll probably find them within a week. Does anybody know what this double spouted bowl would have been for? I couldn't quite figure it out. I was thinking a gravy boat of some sort, but why would it need 2 spouts? This is a Spice of Life pattern Corningware casserole dish. These do sell for, you know, maybe around $10 to $15, but you do better if you have the lid to it. I thought this set was absolutely stunning, and I did a little research on it. They are actually in the Purple Thistle pattern, and they don't sell for that much. They were asking $2 a piece for them, and online they have a set listed of 6 saucers for $5.99 for all of them, and then a set of 3 plates for $8.99. There's no sold listings, but you know, if they're listing them for that cheap, it just really wasn't worth my money, and it was very unfortunate. Had they sold it as a set, I might have took a chance on it. Have you ever seen those beautiful plate gallery walls? I've always wanted to do one. I've put plates on the wall before, but I've never done a whole to-do about it, and I probably would have picked up that butterfly plate there to add to something like that. Let me know if you guys have ever tried that before. I was always nervous about the ones that don't come with the hook on the back of them already, but I do know they make those sticky tabs that go on the back of it, so I've been wanting to try that, so I might be doing that soon. These plates here looked familiar to me. I don't know if my mother had these or my grandmother, but yeah, they definitely looked familiar. Let me know what your childhood pattern was, if you guys remember, you know, what it was. That'd be interesting. So I really thought these were really gorgeous, and I kind of hesitated. I was like, I really like these, so I went back and try to justify getting them. But sometimes even I have to talk myself into walking away. Now this I wanted to get so badly. It was made in Ireland. I thought this was the coolest thing. It unfortunately was chipped, and so I decided to put it back, but I still kind of wish I would have got it. I would have just probably used it for, you know, a little base, you know, to set a vignette on it or something. I'm kind of bummed I didn't get it even though it was chipped, but yeah, it is what it is. So this pattern here is made in England, and it's actually called Blue Onion. A lot of times you will see the Old Town Blue Corelle and Pyrex be called Blue Onion, and I'm pretty sure this is where it stems from. They do kind of look similar. So this here is Fallsgraph, and it is in the pattern Village. Now this is one of the most popular patterns you'll see this in if you ever come across it, and the other one is Yorktown. Those are typically the two you'll see the most of. There is still a market for these. Definitely you want to look for the more unique pieces that are going to give you the most money, but when they're marked $10 at the thrift store, I tend to leave them behind because there's not much room for profit there, right? It's not much of a margin. I was actually surprised to see that this wasn't vintage. The gold around it initially when it was above my head just looked like that vintage gold trim you would see on things, but this is a modern piece, and I was super confused why it was completely hollowed out. I thought it would have been some type of a vase. You can see right here it's from Big Lots, but there's no bottom, so I guess it's just meant to be, you know, a statue on its own. I thought it was a neat piece anyways, but I was kind of bummed it wasn't vintage. The first road trip me and my husband took together, we went down to Savannah and we saw signs for the south of the border thing like the whole way down, and we had to stop, right? So that just kind of reminded me of that. Again, I'm mad at myself for not getting this. I should have grabbed this for the booth. I just, for some reason in my head, just had this mindset that I only wanted to look for vintage items for Etsy, so I did not get it. I feel so dumb for not getting that. It's such a cool piece. So I thought this looked pretty interesting. I was checking it out, and then I saw the price on it. 10 bucks. They can keep it for that price, right? You guys know I'm always gravitating towards the nursery planters, but I found this adorable nursery bank. It is so cute. And it's put out by UNESCO in 1983. Very adorable. I also really liked this guy here. He looked very stately, right? And I thought he would pair really well with the upcoming Memorial Day and 4th of July decor, and yeah, I thought he was a pretty cool piece. This setup here is really cool. It is put out by Treasure Craft. They are made in the USA in the 60s, I believe, and they just had some pretty high prices on it. That one was $6, which I could have done, but the cookie one beside it is marked 15, and that cookie jar is kind of interesting. It's actually shaped like a pitcher. I thought that was kind of unique, but I couldn't have made much money on those. This is actually going to be part 1 to the shopping trip, so make sure you're subscribed so you can catch part 2 to the shopping trip tomorrow. And thanks so much for watching. Be sure to let me know below if you saw anything you liked and you would have picked up, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!